My name is Brian Callahan. I'm a city councilman here in the city of Bethlehem. I would prefer not to be here. To the residents of Bethlehem, I wish things could have worked out more appropriately with the mayor. I had some concerns after his comments to me at the last council meeting on last Tuesday. Just some background. In June of this year, my apologies for last year, but in June of this year, it came to my attention that 3 employees from the Department of Community and Economic Development were upset and disturbed and indicated that the head of their department specifically directed the employees, 2 current and 1 prior employee, that there should be deliberate inaction encouraged in the department by Director Carner to slow, delay, and stall all permits, unquote. With the end goal being that if enough residents, taxpayers, and contractors and developers complained enough, that she could then have a rationale to ask the administration to hire more employees. Also in late June, I had 2 discussions about the information with a couple members of council down in the garage after a city council meeting. I did not know how to respond to the information I was given and that I was told, for if it was true, it would be completely out of line and unethical, in my opinion. One of the council members who I discussed this with stated to me that if it was true, he thought it would be a fireable offense. In late September or early October, I expressed to the mayor during a side conversation my concerns. After a couple weeks passed, on October 17th, I sent the mayor the following email through City Council Clerk Robert Vadoni. This is the memo I sent to City Clerk Vadoni to forward to the mayor on October 17th, and that is item number 1, which you should all have. I also referenced an article in my letter to the mayor by Lehigh Valley Ramblings blogger Bernie O'Hare that he posted on June 14th, 2019. In the post comment section, Mr. O'Hare also references 3 individuals that contacted him with the same information. I am only assuming that they are the same 3. See item number 2 and item number 3, which I have in the packet. Because of the sensitivity of the situation, I asked for it to only be shared with Mr. Evans, Solicitor Leeson, and the mayor on the administration side, and with President Waldron and Solicitor Spurk on the city council side. No one else on council was made aware of it, and that's the way I wanted it to stay until the until the mayor could do his due diligence and find out if it was true or not. I simply asked that the mayor have his business administrator, Mr. Evans, and his solicitor, Mr. Leeson, to interview members of the department to find out if the allegations were accurate or not. To be very clear and to emphasize, I wasn't asking the council or for council to investigate and interview the employees. I simply asked that the mayor, his own business administrator, and his own solicitor conduct the interviews because I trust their judgment and their professional ability to find out the truth of what happened, to be fair to Director Carner, to protect the confidentiality of the statements of the employees interviewed, and to be fair to the residents and taxpayers of the city of Bethlehem. After conducting the interviews with the employees, had Mr. Evans and Mr. Leeson concluded they had found nothing out of line or unethical, I would have considered the matter closed and would have never brought up the subject again. Last Tuesday night, November 19th, as I arrived approximately 15 minutes late due to the city council meeting due to parent-teacher conferences at Northeast Middle School, when I sat down at my council seat, I noticed a letter in an envelope addressed to me from the mayor. It was his response to my initial letter. On the bottom of the mayor's memo, in bolded capital letters, he typed, "Hard copy, hand delivered only." And again, it was in bold, not emailed. Hard copy and hand delivered only. Why, I don't know. See item number 4, please. It was very obvious and clear to me after reading his first sentence that he had no intention of interviewing the participants. He wrote, quote, "Your memo of October 21 does not provide sufficient cause to conduct the investigation requested," unquote. He had absolutely no interest to even looking into the subject. He then stated, based on Mr. Leeson, his solicitors, and Mr. Evans, his BA, advice, not his own, not the mayor's own sense of right and wrong, that if I provided documents, names and particulars, and indicia of corroboration, that he might reconsider. The ironic thing is, just as I finished reading his letter, he then started reading a prepared statement to all of council, and while my name was not mentioned, the comments were clearly directed at me. In his comments, he questioned my tone of voice, and that my questioning of the department head, Ms. Carner, in his words, was unprovoked, out of order, without cause, and completely out of line. He then stated that he would no longer require his department heads to attend council meetings if questioned, or in his words, attacked. For the mayor to refer to me questioning and asking a direct, pointed question from my council seat as an attack, quote unquote, in his words, an attack, was just hyperbole, and I felt in an attempt to intimidate me and get me to back down and drop the subject that I had brought up with him, not only verbally, but in a letter. See item number 5, please. Mayor, I nor anyone else on council has a right to conduct interviews of your cabinet members, department heads, or the employees under your charge and direction. You know this. I also can't provide or guarantee to the 2 current employees protection if they speak the truth about what they were directed to do by Ms. Carner, from retribution from Ms. Carner, as like what happened to the other employee involved. As I told Mr. Evans in yesterday's phone call, it's your job to get to the bottom of what happened, not mine. After I told Mr. Evans that the press had asked me for the memos after the city council meeting, last city council meeting, after he got done speaking, and that I told Mr. Evans that I provided those memos to the press due to the request. It was only then that you asked me to come in to discuss what I knew. See item number 6, please. It was then that you were, quote, requesting my presence for an interview. As I told Mr. Evans, after your comments and remarks directed at me at council on Tuesday night, that ship had sailed. It's the mayor's responsibility to find out what happened and to interview those employees, not mine. That is what the 76,000 residents and taxpayers would expect in the city. That is exactly why I asked to go into executive session months ago, which the mayor denied.